Do you have any other favorite PS2 horror game series?
Like I said, I have not played the Fatal Frame games yet, so not really, other than like Siren. Like Siren 2 was that game was awesome. Like Siren 1, you know, good game, what do I do? But Siren 2, that game was awesome, super scary, I freaking love it. Other than that, the problem with PS2 horror games is I guess that was an era where horror games didn't sell super well, so like most of them are expensive as hell. Like A Haunting Ground is way too expensive, so is Rule of Rose. I really want to try Kuon and Echo Night Beyond. I played them both. A friend of mine burnt them both, and I played them like maybe 10 minutes each, but like really want to get copies to play through those games.
Would you ever consider doing a fan mail opening?
Yeah, I've been meaning to open up a P.O. box sometime soon. Hopefully I'll do that, and I'll put out an update video being like, I got a P.O. box, send me stuff if you want.
Did you play the Mass Effect games? If you did, what do you think of them?
I tried really hard to get into Mass Effect 2 a couple of years ago because it was at EB Games for $5, and all my friends that are big Mass Effect junkies, they're all like, yeah, just start with the second one. So yeah, I don't know. It was really cool. I loved the characters and the writing and stuff, but I just couldn't get into it. Like those kinds of RPG games, I'm just not super into.
Will you ever do a review on a Persona game?
Oh man, I love the later Persona games, most notably 4 and obviously 5, but I don't think I'm ever gonna do videos on them. Like, I get people being like, hey, can you do a video on the Shin Megami Tensei games? And like, those are long games. If you want maybe one video every 2 months, I can do videos on them, but I'd rather stick to platformers, shorter games I can actually get videos out on time.
Which keyboard do you have?
I have a crappy $20 wireless keyboard I got from Best Buy after I spilt the hot chocolate all over my old keyboard. Probably wasn't the one you were thinking of. Sorry.
What is your favorite game that you would like to be stuck in and actually be playing it like as your life? What game, what character, and maybe why?
Maybe Majora's Mask. Kind of got like this Groundhog Day kind of cycle going on, and like that would be neat to be Link in Majora's Mask, you know. I think that'd just be really cool to experience, like having that world that you become familiar with by experiencing it over and over, and you notice these consistencies, and then you base the side quests on that. That'd be really cool.
Have you ever heard of the Zepties Itsumi series?
No.
Have you heard of Poochie
No.
In your Sonic Forces video, you showcased some drawings. And I was wondering, do you still draw? Can you draw Sonic the Hedgehog or any video game character for that matter?
I used to draw a lot in high school. Again, back in the weeaboo days, I used to draw anime characters all the time, and like, I cannot draw like bodies and hands to save my life, so I just drew like headshots. Like, this is one of my favorite ones I did in high school, The Teacher from Nichijou. I still think this is a good drawing, so it's like one of the few I still leave up on my wall. As for like game characters, I can do it if I'm like looking at them, but I cannot draw from memory.
How big of a Metal Gear Solid fan are you? And what are your thoughts on this version of Metal Gear Solid?
I used to be like hardcore Metal Gear fan, but like I find with 5, I just feel like it's over. Like, I know it's gonna continue without Kojima, and slowly it's just been kind of dying out of my mind. Like, Metal Gear Solid 3, still one of my favorite games ever made, 5's an amazing game, but like, I've been falling off of it. I just care less and less about that series. I think I'm ready to move on to like what else Kojima's gonna do, Death Stranding, so yeah, not as much as I used to be, but Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, not a fan of it. I think the new graphics and the redub are both fantastic, but like, they just shoehorn in all of these mechanics from Metal Gear Solid 2 onto level design that was originally created without that stuff in mind, and I don't think it works super duper well. I think it'd just be like a little frustrating, like the super intelligent AI, and you hide in a locker and they do the SWAT team thing, and it's like, well, they're just gonna find me every time, so that's stupid.
What's your idea for your dream platformer? Like, a game no one's ever made, but you really love if they did.
Okay, this is a platformer idea I've had for a long time, and I've always really wanted to do it. I want to do a platformer game where you play as an inflatable character, like a balloon animal. Spare me the sex doll jokes, I've already heard them every time I explain this to somebody, but basically you're like a balloon animal, and you fill yourself with like helium, or gasoline, or like water, different fluids that give your characters different physics, like helium to float if you want to sink underwater, drink a bunch of water so you sink or whatever, or I don't know, something like that. Fill yourself with oil, you can like squirt to set fires or something like that. Yeah, just the idea of a platformer where you play as like a balloonish character, and you would have like those ground pound moves like from Sonic's bounce ball, but you would like bounce and kind of float a little bit, like Because I love platformers where it feels like you're manipulating the physics of a character. Like Mario 64, you're flinging Mario around with like varying accuracy and getting good at the game, kind of like. So yeah, a physics-based platformer where you play as like a balloon animal.
Who would win best waifu? Would it be Waluigi, the man himself? Would it be the big guy, like the giant guy from Kill la Kill?
Waluigi.
Can you do a studio tour?
There's not much a studio to do a tour. Do you want a studio tour? Sure. This is my computer desk. Usually when I film, it's right here. Hey, Brady. There's all my amiibos. Hey, there's Mike Jones. Hey, there's my Super Nintendo, or my Super Nintendo's down there. There's some of my older consoles. Hey, there's my PS4. There's my TV. Got a big 4K TV. That's a shield I made back in high school. I made these wooden swords back in, junior high school. Bunch of stuff up there. Hey, there's stuff. I got my bed. There's big ass Lucario guy. There's some wall scrolls. You can kind of, yeah, that's usually the background. It's like, I do not have a large room. That's the whole thing. There you go, guys. The studio tour, Nitro Rad exclusive. Hope you enjoyed it, man.
Hey, Nitro Rad, I got a question. How do you find out about all these, like, obscure platforming games?
Yeah, I literally just read comments. Like, a lot of people are like, do you take requests? Can you review this game? And, like, I'm not gonna review a game because one guy asked me to. But, like, I'm always reading comments. So, like, if I see, like, 7 people all request Whiplash and be like, okay, Whiplash, what's that? I look it up, look at some screenshots, does it look like something I review? Yeah, no, okay, if yes, I go on eBay, is it $10 or less? Buy it, then I have it on my shelf so I can review it sometime. I've got some games I've bought off eBay because they're dirt cheap and they look like up my alley for reviewing that people have suggested. Like, I still have like Metal Arms Glitch in the System, I've got like Hurdy-Gurdy, I've got a couple more up there, Malice. But yeah, I literally just read comments like the Vex, Whiplash, Haven, Kaya, Sphinx, like almost every game after the Rayman videos are games I had suggested. So, just read the comments.
What kind of recording equipment do you use to record your console games?
Okay, for console games, I use an Elgato. The newer Elgato only has HDMI input, so what I use, I just got this. I usually use upscalers, like I had one for component, I had one for VGA, one for every different kind of output. The component one doesn't look super great. I used it for the Super Mario Sunshine video. You can see a little bit of color bleeding, but now I've got that's the RGB. Got a Framemeister. I'm actually, there's a YouTube channel that's fantastic called My Life in Gaming. Watch them if you want to get like the highest quality out of your consoles, if you're willing to invest a little money. Got myself a Framemeister. I got coming in the mail a component, the D-terminal. It's so fascinating. I've been looking up and watching these videos and reading into like all these different inputs, finding out what they all do. But yeah, got myself a Framemeister now. Put whatever goes into this, it comes out the other side in HDMI through my Elgato, and it looks beautiful.
If you could experience any horror game in real life with the real possibility of dying and never coming back, which game would you choose, like based on aesthetics or story or whatever?
Why would I want that? I don't want that. I don't want to. No, absolutely not. I'd pick Yume Nikki so I could wake up and not be dead. But you probably want a real answer. So I played through Resident Evil 7 so many times. I do Resident Evil 7 speedrun. I can beat that game in like less than 3 hours. Let's go. I did it in VR. I practically did it in real life. Did it in virtual reality. But other than that, I think Resident Evil 7 is like a really interesting game. Like the Baker household, such a fun environment to explore. And the ending, like the nice twist at the end with the old woman. I thought it was, man, yeah, Resident Evil 7. Other than that, maybe, Buddy, Luigi's Mansion. I want to give all the boos big hugs.
What's wrong with you? I was wondering if you ever had a series or franchise that you just love its atmosphere, love the world of its music, its atmosphere. You just absolutely pulled in by it and you can't help but get sucked in by it every single time you boot it up.
Mario games have always been big for that with me, especially Mario Sunshine. Like I said in the video I made on that game's map feels like one consistent world. You can see like Pinna Park from the beach of Gelato Beach, and you can see Rico Harbor from Bianco Hills. That's amazing. But probably Majora's Mask. I love the world of that game because it's a world with consistent events that replay over and over, and you take note of it all. all, and you're like, oh, so this guy delivers this letter, and that goes to this person, and it's actually all connected. That's such a well thought out game world, and yeah, Majora's Mask, absolutely. I get, that is like the one game world I've never been more into, because it's not just about the aesthetics or the music or like what is here, it's about what's happening and how you see something happening over here, changes something over there, and you yourself get involved with it all, and it's, yeah, Majora's Mask, it's amazing.
Would you be willing to review any of the Bionicle games?
Buddy, absolutely. I was a hardcore Bionicle fan as a kid. I had like all the original Toa. I didn't have all the Toa Nuva, but like, man, I collected them all up until the Toa and Nika, I think was like the last canister set I really bothered with. After that, I was kind of getting older and lost interest, but I was so into Bionicle as a kid. I had some of the Bionicle games, never any of the console ones, but I had the Game Boy Advance, like, Matoran Adventures game. I want to review that point-and-click adventure game they had on the Lego.com. I used to play that so much as a kid, and I could, like, never beat it, because my computer was old and crappy, and it would freeze every time you did, like, the mosquito riding part. I know that's not online anymore, but there's people that still have, like, the SWF files of it. I could probably, like, search around some forums. I know, because I remember downloading it, like, back in high school, being like, I remember this, or not in high school, college, but yeah, freaking Bionicle, absolutely. I still have all my Bionicles, like, in the attic. I have so many. Yes, I love Bionicle, absolutely. Let's do some Bionicle games sometime.
I was wondering how you try to position your channel in relation to other video game review channels, like James Rolfe, or the guys on Normal Boots, or even Derek Alexander, or if that's something you even think about.
I used to consider myself like somewhere in between like Pro Jared and Some Call Me Johnny, but like now I feel like I've kind of got to my own thing where it's just like, yeah, me doing whatever, and I have influence from tons of different people. I don't even think about it.
What do you think about No More Heroes? Do you prefer No More Heroes 1 or 2? What do you think about the new one that's going to be released to the Switch?
No More Heroes are a super good game series. I've never finished the first one because I made the mistake of playing 2 first, and like I hear the story in 1's way better. I've only ever got like halfway through the first one, but I beat the second one. Between the two, I do like the second one because like the mini games are, that game's paced so much better. The mini games are actually fun, and you don't have to do a bunch of stupid crap between every mission, and like the gameplay is a little better. The new one for Switch, very excited in seeing how that's going to turn out. Really want to see gameplay of it. So happy Suda's finally doing another No More Heroes game.
Hello Nitro, my name is Tomas, I'm from Argentina, and I have a lot of questions to ask you, but I'm just going with a simple one. Do you like fighting games? And if so, what is your favorite fighting game, or the one you recall playing the most?
Not really. Never been a big fan of fighters. Back in high school, I used to play Blaze Blue a lot, but I've realized I'm no good at fighting games at all, and I kind of fell off of it. I play Smash Bros. Casually with friends just for fun every now and then. I hate playing Smash Bros. With like Smash players because I can't get anywhere. Get like Brady. Brady, you play Smash. What you do? Brady, you're a camera guy. Quit showing off. Yeah, no, not so much in the fighting games, just like Smash Bros. That's it.
If you were inclined to, would you ever consider making a Let's Play channel? And if so, what games would you tackle?
Someday this year, Brady and I are going to try to move out together, and if that happens, I really want to do a second channel where like probably once or twice a week, Brady and I will like play something. And I really want to have like 2 ongoing things where it's like just like a one-off thing, and like one consistent series where we try to play all the way through something like Drakengard or Wind Waker, like a longer-ish game. And like, Brady, would you want to do that?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever mentioned this to you. I really want to do that sometime, like, cause you could edit them on the side while I just do Nitro Rad. Yeah. Cause that way it's not taking up any more of my time. Like, I would love to do that. Absolutely. I think by the time it happens, I'll probably have enough people, and I'll make a update being like, hey, check out this. Actually, would any of you watch that? It's probably a good opportunity. Yeah. Post in the comments of like if you think it'd be cool. Would you like watch a Let's Play channel between Brady and I? Because like it wouldn't take up much more of my time because Brady would do all the editing. So like I would love to do that. If you get down about the fans.
What was the game that made you the most emotional while playing through?
Man, Uncharted 4's ending really got me. Metal Gear Solid 3's ending destroyed me the first time I played it. Mother 3. No game got me better than Mother 3. Mario Odyssey's ending, that choked me up pretty hard. Not like, oh, this is sad or so happy. It's more like, oh, this is such a beautiful moment. So awesome, the ending. No spoilers, but yeah, those ones definitely.
Question for you about VR. You a big fan? VR just looks kind of cool, and I wanted to know your thoughts about it.
Yeah, dude, I got the PlayStation VR late 2017, and I'm so glad I invested in it. I got it because I mostly wanted to play Resident Evil 7 in VR. Man, that went from like number 7 game of the year to number 3 of the game of the year. Like playing that again in VR. Like VR is so good. Super Hot VR is an amazing game. Shooty Fruity, super duper fun. Like it's just so different than anything you've played before, and you get so physical. Like I really want them to do like a Wii Sports, just Wii Sports in VR. Not like Wii Sports was the same thing. Like just give me golf, boxing, and tennis and bowling in VR. That'd be sick. But yeah, love VR. It's awesome.
I just wanted to ask, since you'll be attending a con outside of Canada for the first time, I was wondering what would be your favorite cons to attend if you could, whether in the US or Canada or...
So I'm going to Anime Next this June just because my friend Jackson lives in Jersey and I'm just going to visit him, and we're like, yeah, or Brady's coming too, and we're like, yeah, we may as well go to a con while we're here because I've never been to a con outside of Canada. So yeah, we're going to Anime Next. I'd love to go to MagFest sometime. I can't say this is something I'm going to do in the near future because traveling's real expensive, especially coming from a different country. So I really want to go to San Diego Comic-Con sometime. I just want to go to a con and meet the Mega 64 guys because like they're my heroes and I love them. And like, man, I want to meet Rocco, Derek, and Sean, and Garrett, and I want to meet Kevin, dude. Yeah, any con where Mega 64 is at, but probably Comic-Con or MagFest. PAX, actually PAX. Want to go to PAX. Brady, we should go PAX sometime.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What is the hardest game you've ever played? And 2, what is the most addictive game you've ever played?
Ghosts and Goblins for the NES. That's like the only game I've ever like not beaten just because I couldn't beat it because it's so hard. I was getting so mad at that game. I got even more mad at that game than I got at Bubsy. I don't think that's a good game even. I think a game sucks. Not Bubsy, I mean Ghosts and Goblins on the NES. Super Nintendo version's way better, but yeah. The hardest game I ever played is definitely Ghosts and Goblins. Most addictive game, Animal Crossing. Bro, every time a new Animal Crossing game comes out, like, I feel like I get nothing done. I'm like, yeah, I hardly paid off any of my debt. I didn't like catch that many fish. Look at my playtime, 200 hours. How? Whoa, yeah, Animal Crossing. That stuff's like crack.
Like Lucarios? I see that Lucario plushie.
Wow, how did you tell?
Do you have any niche genre that you like?
I don't really know what's considered a niche genre at this point. I feel like we're in a point in time where like there's so many games, that there's so many genres being covered. I've always just been a big fan of adventure games, you know, a game where you just go on an adventure, like a Zelda or Uncharted, Beyond Good and Evil, a Mario game. I don't really know if that's niche, but I guess that, I don't know, dude.
What is a game that you liked but everyone disliked? Kisses.
Definitely the first The Evil Within. A lot of people hate that game. I love that game to death, dude. Kisses.
It's sex tricky. It's a pretty cool snowboarding series. Or even you can, you already reviewed that one. You can review this, or even this one. You can review even those. You can review Kingdom Hearts 2. You don't even need to worry about the first one. You can just review the second one. You can
Okay, he's making fun of how I just get so many questions. Be like, hey, can you review this? Can you review that? Yeah. You know, a lot of people ask that. Man, like I said, I read the comments. I always take stuff in consideration, but I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I'll just review it because one guy asked me to.
Review this.
Review my ass, dick hole.
And my question is, what's your favorite RPG that you've ever played?
Honestly, I think Persona 5 is like my favorite RPG I've ever played, as new as that is. Other than that, Chrono Trigger. No, Xenoblade!
Do you mind checking out a series of games called Asterix and Obelix XXL?
I've always been aware of Asterix and Obelisk. That's like a French comic, I think. I've been aware of the source material. I don't know anything about the games. Pretty sure they're all PAL only, but I do get some people suggesting I play through them because apparently they're platformers. So yeah, I'm aware of it, but I've never played it. Maybe sometime though.
If you had proper skills and resources,
what would be your dream cosplay?
Buddy, that was rad. If I had the budget and resources to make any like amazing costume,
dude, I would do Gray Fox.
Oh, you do Gray Fox?
Yeah,
that's a good one. What would I do? Maybe Shulk from Xenoblade. That's not like a hard costume to make, but like the Monado. If I could make like a functioning Monado that actually like lights up and kind of comes apart and has like I would do that. That would be amazing. Just more so like the sword itself. Other than that, I really don't know. Probably what Brady just said in Gray Fox. That would be awesome too.
What are your thoughts on emulators?
Emulators are a great way for younger people to experience older games. I always kind of like crapped on them because I'm like, yeah, I like to play games on the original console, and when I'm reviewing, I always play it on the original console because that's just like, I gotta review it as it was delivered back then, because emulators, there's differences on them. But I worked with a guy named Alex who was in high school back when I worked at Shoppers, and he would always tell me how he's like, yeah, I'm playing Earthbound for the first time on an emulator. It's like, well, that's cool, because otherwise he would not have access to all of these old games. Like, he played the original Resident Evil on PS1 on an emulator. He's telling me about how he played these games. I think emulators are great just for, so people have access to older games, because I think it's real important that younger people go back and see what games were like back then. You know, it's all part of the culture. So I think emulators are a good thing.
Why do you cover quite a lot of RPG Maker games?
So I started doing RPG Maker games because when I started the channel, I wanted to review 3 games I thought were really underrated. I wanted to do Star Tropics, Yume Nikki, and the Tai the Tasmanian Tiger series, and I kind of just started doing platformers because it was so much fun to review the Tai games. I also wanted to do Rayman and Gex, and went on from there. But Yume Nikki kind of introduced me to more RPG Maker games like Eve and Off and Space Funeral, Mogeko Castle, and then I found out there was all these fan games, and I'm like, this is like a niche that no one else is like covering. So I just thought that would be a good ground to cover alongside doing platformers.
Starshot, B-grade platformer. When you gonna play it?
Like I said, like everyone's like, hey, when are you gonna review this? When are you gonna review that? Like, I take that into consideration. I've looked up Starshot. Those look like something I'll play. If I ever find a copy of it for real cheap, I'll get it and I might do a video on it. Actually, sometime this year I want to do a lot of N64 games like Glover and Tonic Trouble. Now that I got a Framemeister to make N64 games look good, so actually this year might be a good. You know, I might do that this year. Yeah.
What is name Nitro Rad came from?
So this is an embarrassing story. Back in the day, I made an account on the EA Games website because on the back of 007 Nightfire it's like, hey, register the game, sign up, you can get cheats. And my friend Aaron and I were like, whoa, cheats, let's make up a username. We had to make up a username. This is the first time since like the Lego forums I made a username. So we're like, so if you look on the keyboard, you see the word Clop, K-L-O-P all together. I'm like, oh, let's make it Clop, like Cyclops with like a K, because that sounds cool. And like, that was already taken. So we're like, okay, let's put a word in front of it because we don't want to use numbers. Even as a kid, I was like, I'll make a unique username with no numbers. So I was like, put Nitro in front of it. So we were Nitro Clop. And I used that as a username for years and years until I got a message from someone like DMing me on YouTube. It was like, hey, what Nitro Clop mean? Are you a clopper? So I freaking Googled clopper, and then I'm like, well, Tom had changed my username on every website I've ever gone to. So I started using Garanicor, which is the name of my other channel now, and that was an alien race I made up in Spore. I just tried to make an alien sounding name, Garanicor, you know. I started using that for a while, and when I made Nitro Rad, I wanted to go back to Nitro, because that was like a cool sounding word, I guess, and I just combined it with my favorite word that I use all the time, which is rad. That's how it happened.
If you could travel to any video game world, where would you travel to?
I want to go to Delfino Plaza, because it's like a tropical resort, looks real cool, Pian's super cool guys, I want to hug a blooper.
Have you considered making a new Nitro analysis video?
Oh man, I haven't made a Nitro analysis video in a long time. Basically what she's asking is, forever ago I did a video called Nitro Analysis, Why Do We Hate Water Levels? And it was kind of like deconstructing what it is exactly about water levels that we don't like, examples of some good water levels, and how you can make a good water level. And it was an interesting video, and I get a lot of people say like, yeah, I kind of like this kind of video. And I did another similar video about like the backs of game covers, how like, you know, look at Twin Snakes, there's lots of info. You look at the back of like a PS3 game, it's hardly any. I've kind of had this idea of a new Nitro analysis video about double jumping, because I brought up how, like, I think double jumping can be a lazy way. There's good ways to do it, bad ways to do it. I think that would be an interesting topic, so maybe eventually, but as of now, I just like covering games themselves. But yeah, maybe sometime eventually.
You still think Death Stranding will be like Silent Hills, and if so, do you think you can live up to its own hype, seeing as though we have not seen any gameplay or anything yet?
I don't think Death Stranding is going to be anything like Silent Hills. If anything, I think it's going to play closer to an action game like Metal Gear Solid 5. Like, not control exactly the same, but I think it's going to be more like an action horror game. I definitely don't think it's going to be what Silent Hills ended up being. Maybe use some of the same like thematic ideas, but with a new IP, I think the Kojima can just do whatever he wanted to now without being restricted by like the rules of the series. So I think it's going to be a lot different, but it's still going to be like same team doing a similar kind of idea, and I think it's going to be cool.
Have you played the Midden series or anything in the Clouderverse?
Why are you in the shower? Yes, I've played Middens. I've kind of wanted to do a vid on that for a while. I've never played Gingiva. I know a lot of people ask me to do that one too. And the other one is, what's it called? Where they cremate the roadkill. On my Steam wish list, probably going to get that sometime. Maybe do a video eventually, I don't know.
Top 5 video game soundtracks ever.
I know these two games came out recently, but Cuphead and Persona 5, wow. Chrono Trigger, absolutely. Sonic Adventure 2, some people will not agree with that one, but for me, big guilty pleasure. And lastly, Jet Set Radio!
Have you ever wanted to make, videos on movie making or just videos of your favorite films?
I don't know if we'll ever do videos on like films. There's a lot of films I'd love to talk about, but the thing is like it's a lot harder to get away with like copyright wise doing movies about videos about movies like that guy Breadsword who made that fantastic deconstruction of Treasure Planet and why it failed. Recently did a video on Doctor Strangelove. Amazing video. Boom, Sony ripped it down, got it back up, maybe temporarily. Man, it's just that kind of stuff I do not want to deal with. But I might do a video on Digimon Tamers, because that's like one of my favorite animes ever, and I got a lot to say about that show. So maybe on that, but I don't know.
What are some games that you wish got like a remaster or a remake?
After they started showing off all that pachinko stuff, I really wanted a HD Fox Engine remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. I think it would also be really cool if they did that Mario Sunshine remake. Like, I brought that up a lot in my earlier video on Mario Sunshine. But, yeah, maybe Sonic Adventure 2. I think that's a game that could use a good remake. Like, there's a lot of ill-functioning mechanics that could make so much better. Polish that into an amazing product because there's so much to love there. So much people don't like about it, but hey, that's a game that if I could pick one game that I loved as a kid to go back and just rework it so it's even better, Sonic Adventure 2, dude.
I just want to know what your opinion is on Super Mario Odyssey.
It's really good!
A couple times in your videos, you've mentioned the Professor Layton series. Have you ever considered reviewing those games and or the Ace Attorney games?
I've never played an Ace Attorney game, but like I used to love the Professor Layton games back in high school. I never finished the 6th one, but I beat the first 5, and like, I don't know if videos on those would be like particularly interesting. I'd much rather focus on like RPG Maker games, horror games, and platformers, but like they're just kind of like visual novels with puzzles. Then I really only have the story to talk about, and I don't know if I really want to do something on that. If there was like a more like visual novel-esque adventure game for the DS, I do want to do. It's gonna be the Hotel Dusk games.
As a fan of RPG Maker games, which are your favorites, and what other ones are you gonna do in the future?
Obviously, Lisa's like my favorite ever. I also love .flow and Yume Nikki, but some I want to do in the future. I want to do more Yume Nikki 3-parters. There's like so many more Yume Nikki fan games I think that are definitely worth looking at. I mean, obviously there's more than like what I did 8 so far. Yeah, there's a lot more than that. I definitely want to give a little look-see, and other than that, a lot of people want me to do Middens, and I definitely gotta do Eve, because I don't know how I've not done that one yet.
What are your favorite top 5 B-grade platformers?
Yeah, I don't know if Blinks is considered like B-grade. I know it was like published by Microsoft, so maybe that's considered like a AAA game, but either way, it plays like a B-grade game, so definitely Blinks, definitely Sphinx, Gex, I'm gonna say Gex 3 over 2, Tai 2, and Whiplash. Honestly, the more I think back on Whiplash, I enjoy that game quite a bit, except like the last Metroidvania baloney, but like, yeah, Whiplash, super fun.
Alright, Nitro Rad, since you're a huge fan of RPG Maker games, why haven't you made your own RPG?
Like I said before, I've opened RPG Maker like 5 times, I'm like, I don't know what to do, and I close it. I'm just too stupid to make a game.
Hey Nitro Rad, my question is, did you always intend your channel to be gaming focused?
Yeah, I mean, I've done like some things here and there. Actually, I think I've done like one thing that wasn't gaming focused. That was like that Dragon Ball movie like forever ago. But no, yeah, it's always been gaming focused. I plan on making it continually always gaming focused, yeah.
Do you accept review requests? I'm talking about Cell Damage for the original Xbox and GameCube.
Hey, like I said, I take suggestions. I'm always looking into it. Normally I'd say like, yeah, don't do it if one guy said it, but like a lot of people have actually requested Cell Damage, so yeah, I might do that one eventually. This guy also told me that the HD remake on PS4 is not very good, so thanks for the heads up. I'll definitely check out the original version on Xbox.
Now I'm curious if you're going to be covering any other platformers on the N64, like Glover.
Yeah, like I said earlier, that guy that was like, yeah, Starshot. Yeah, I do want to cover Glover and Tonic Trouble this year. Might do Starshot 2 as well. And yeah, I do. There's a lot of games on N64. Again, it was all about waiting till I got the FrameMeister so I can make the footage look good. Now I can. Now I will.
What was the hardest video for you to edit in 2017 or anything you've ever edited?
Funny enough, it was actually the Jimmy and the pulsating mass video. Because I recorded that all that footage with OBS, but OBS exported it at a really low data rate, so like scrubbing that footage, it was super laggy. It wouldn't play at full speed. It was playing at like 1 frame per second in the preview, and it was like, same with what was that other one I did with the ghost and the pumpkin guy, Pumpkin Noir. Same deal with that. It's just the footage I got was so hard to work with. Vegas just didn't like it. Man, if I was using Premiere, probably wouldn't have that problem, but I just love Vegas more, so whatever.
What are your favorite 3D Sonic and 3D Mario games?
My favorite 3D Sonic games are definitely, as much as people aren't going to agree, Sonic Adventure 2, but also Sonic Generations. I think that is, like, objectively the best Sonic game. At least, best 3D Sonic game, anyway. Love Generations. I've replayed that game a billion times. Favorite 3D Mario games? Probably Sunshine and Odyssey.
Hey Nitro Rad, ¿cuáles son tus gustos culposos en videojuegos?
Oh, honestly, potty humor. Kojima uses it a lot, like when there's like a guard peeing and you can shoot him when he's peeing. I don't know what it is about me, I'm just so juvenile, I always find that funny. Like in GoldenEye, you go in the stall, there's a guy peeing, you can shoot him. I love that so much. I don't know why.
Hello, Nitro Rad. My name is Oddworld Maniac, and I would like you to play the Oddworld games.
Dude, that's a dope costume, but again, if people suggest it, maybe. I actually get a lot of comments asking me to do the, one of the Oddworld games is a 3D platformer, I forget which one it is, but yeah, I might do that one, just since it's a platformer, but I can't imagine I'm going to do reviews on the other ones.
We love to interact with our content creators and willing to do a fan hangout.
Man, I'd love to do a fan hangout sometime, but like, the thing is, according to my YouTube analytics, like, 70% of my audience is in the States, so I would have to probably be in the States for like anyone to show up. But that also kind of sucks, because if I ever did that, I want to do it at Mary Brown's, and that's only in Canada. But yeah, maybe sometime when I'm in the States at a con, like in future coming years, I'll be like, yo, I'll post on Twitter, be like, hey, everybody meet me at the McDonald's, let's get some Big Macs. I don't know. Yes, that's definitely no time soon, because I'm still in the part of the world no one's at, but yeah, sometime maybe.
What's your top 3 Sonic games?
Everyone's gonna hate me for my answer, but number 1, Sonic Generation. Number 2, Sonic Adventure 2. Number 3, Sonic Adventure. Like, I just love the adventure games, okay?
Yeah.
I don't care everyone hates them. I don't care they're not well made. I love them.
Big fan of Garanicore. Would you ever consider doing a more serious series out of curiosity?
The thing is, like, I've never been super good at doing, like, dramas. Like, on the Granicore channel, you'll see some stuff that is supposed to be serious. Like, there's a detective movie called Fall from Vice. There's, like, what was supposed to be a psychological horror where, like, my friend Alex goes in the room and, like, he sees this surveillance footage from these invisible cameras, and he sees, like, a guy coming up the steps, and he's like, is that real? Is this not real? Yeah, like, I'm good at thinking of ideas, I guess, for stuff like that, but I'm not good at executing it. I just love doing comedy stuff, but I don't know, maybe, probably not. I think the closest I've ever come to doing, like, a real drama, honestly, is, like, the Dunn's Christmas videos. There's, like, that whole video is, like, a joke, but, like, you know, there's parts in that I try to make, like, emotional and sentimental towards the end, especially the newest two, but yeah, you know.
What keeps you going whenever you're down in the dumps? What keeps you motivated to keep going?
Firstly, I like to watch people that inspire me, like Super Bunny Hop and Some Call Me Johnny. Listening to music, I find, helps a lot, too. Listening to, like, jamming tunes that really make you want to get up and do stuff. But honestly, my biggest inspiration, like, drive-wise, is Tony Hawk. As silly as that sounds, but, like, legitimately, that interview he did after he pulled off the 900, the determination he shows off in that interview, he says, I was going to keep doing it until I either did it or I had to go to the hospital. He was so dead set that night, I'm going to keep doing this until I'm either broken bones or I do it. And the thing is, like, that's a skateboarding trick. That doesn't matter to most people, but it mattered to him. And knowing that one person can be that passionate, that just makes me feel like it doesn't matter if what I care about is of value to others, as long as it's important to me, I'm gonna achieve that. And I'm gonna do my best.
What do you plan on doing after YouTube? Do you have any plans with film?
Do you have any plans as far as the video games are concerned? Or do you want to keep making content on YouTube?
I'd love to keep making content on YouTube for like as long as I know. I mean, of course I have to move on to other things like probably when I'm like 40, but I mean, I'll figure that out when I need to figure that out sometime. I got some friends, like Dunn, he's in school for like computer programming. I'd love to meet up with some friends and try to make a game. Like I said, I have a platformer idea I really want to do. And I really want to try making an RPG Maker game sometime. Maybe like put it out on Steam for like $1 and then make $1,000. I don't know.
How do you feel about Austin's decision to say that all fan games are official?
See, that kind of rubs me in a way where it's like, I worked really hard on this project and now it belongs to the people who are fans of it. But it also rubs me as like, yeah, I don't care. Do what you want. And I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome and Austin's like, yeah, everything's canon, whatever, who cares? I think that just makes it so much more fun. So I think that's great.
Smash, ole, c'est nemot morastujmi, haha, lukriksi, fustovali, haha, nöstek inemus vaher, haha, ine vahuyus, oh, nirvot, oh no, hezich.
That was some zany malarkey. Wow, thank you for making that. That's man.
That must have took a lot.
Wow. But yeah, like I said, the game. If I could make a game, it would be that platform about a balloon animal. That's what I've always wanted to do. What about you?
One of your ideas, if I can add on to that, would be going to the grocery store, Brady Quest.
Oh yeah, I want to make an RPG Maker game where like Brady goes on the quest to get groceries. There's also a video called The Pizza Prophecy on Garanicore. I just want to turn that into an RPG Maker game because it's such a ridiculous thing. But what about you, Al? With what's the dumbest thing that made you do for Garanicore?
Probably have me submerged in my clothes in a body of water, soap, and yop for the Mario Odyssey Evil Within Garanicore video.
You were sitting in a tub of yogurt practically.
Yeah, my eyes were burning from it.
I forgot about that because we just needed the water to be white and like thick. So I'm like, let's just pour a bunch of soap in it. Didn't work. We got some yop. Dump some yop in there. Oh my lord, yeah. So I guess that, huh?
Yeah, that was nuts.
Anything else? Because I know I've made you dump some.
I know you already have a dumb idea for me, which I actually finally agreed to, but won't spoil it in this. You'll have to check Garanicore for it.
Now, my question for you and Brady would go something along the lines of, what's a game from the past 5 years or so, a recent game, that you would go back in time and show to your younger self to absolutely blow them away?
Oh, I would say Sonic Generations, but like that came out 2011. Probably Metal Gear Solid 5.
See, I was gonna say that too.
Yeah.
Because the only problem is I don't want to mentally scar my younger self.
Why? Oh, because what? What about Metal Gear?
Because the skull unit and friggin' the.
I was thinking like my high school self. I'd show Metal Gear Solid 5. You just said younger self, then say like baby.
Well, I'm thinking about me like back in 2003.
Yeah, for that I would show him Mario Odyssey.
Yes,
that would blow my mind as a kid. Absolutely, yeah. Especially the capture mechanic. Yes, brilliant. Yeah.
Nitro Brady, what is your favorite T-shirt?
Well, funny you ask, because I'm actually wearing it right now. This wonderful shirt that I can't even pronounce his username.
Kevin Fogaragan.
Yeah, Kevin Fogaragan.
Yeah.
Best dang artist. I love him.
I'm wearing one of his shirts right now. The Rayman hoodie, the Rayman shirt. This is my favorite shirt, the Rayman one he did. Yeah. The Rayman 3 one.
That's pretty sick. Listen, Kevin, I love your art so much. And that's all I can really say. You're
Kevin, Brady wants to marry you.
No, not like that!
And a question for Brady. Are there any games besides Punky Skunk that you really liked as a kid?
Probably Hook for the Super Nintendo. It's a really good game. I want James and myself to review it, but he's like, no!
One for Brady is, what kind of content does he want to make on a channel?
You had any plans to do your own YouTube channel or do your own game review?
See, that's something that has been haunting me since the conception of wanting to be a part of YouTube content creators. I first wanted to kind of do reviews, kind of like what James does, but I myself am not really good with script writing and like having decent like grammatical.
Because the thing is, like, what you're good at is, like, hey, James, look at this, and you make a dumb noise with a game. I think, like, Donkey's format would be more so something you do. Like, kind of like talking over it, like, making it funny. Like, the Mario Odyssey.
I have that idea where it's like, I just kind of want to play the game, kind of make a comment about something, and then in the end, it's like, oh, this is what I think of it. On another note, I've always been, like, interested in Let's Plays, but it's always one of those things where it's like, everyone's doing it,
Like I said, I want to do that with you eventually.
That's another idea we got.
Yeah.
Does Brady help out with the channel? And if so, how does he help?
Yeah, Brady didn't help with the channel? How do you help? What do you do, huh? What do you do?
Just recently for the... Is this one going up before Mario Galaxy?
I don't know.
Well, basically, I just helped out with the Mario Galaxy review with holding the...
You held the reflector.
The reflector.
Yeah.
Sometimes I come on and help review things, basically because I had a childhood involvement with the game.
Oh yeah, with Punky Skunk we played it together, and like a lot of that video was you.
Yeah.
But like something like Whiplash, that was all me. I wrote the whole thing myself. The Sonic Adventure one, the 100 Things We Love About That. We're gonna do another one for Sonic Adventure 2. That was both of us. We were both thinking of things, playing that game together and writing it down. But like generally, I just kind of do Nitro Rad by myself, you know. But
this is done by him. It's made by him. He writes it. He films it. This man is a one-man band. I sometimes come in to play the cymbal, and that's about it.
Question is for everyone within the production of Nitro Rad. What was your dream when you were a child, and what is your hindsight on that dream?
I've like always just wanted to be a filmmaker, like as long as I was like a kid, ever since my friend Robbie showed me his camera back in elementary school. And like, that's kind of what aspect of being a filmmaker has kind of changed, like more so into editing and documentary filmmaking rather than like being a director, because I realized I'm not that good at directing, but I'm better at cinematography. So like, film school really helped me narrow down what kind of filmmaker I want to be, but it's always been that. What about you?
If we were talking about like my really young self, I wanted to be a plumber like Mario, have adventures. But guess what? That shit don't happen.
You can't be serious.
I'm absolutely serious. I always was like, man, I wish I could be like Mario. Mario's friggin' sick. He gets to go on adventures, ride dinosaurs, jumps on turtles, collects coins. He's a rich man. He got a castle. But like, later on, once I grew up and I had to put those childish fantasies aside, I want to be an animator. And then I realized that took a lot of work. And then I realized I'm not that good with a tablet, but I'm going to try and train myself to be better at it. I like the idea of voice acting, and I just recently...
I think you would be a really good voice actor, honestly.
The last 4 years, I've been learning about filming and editing through this man right here that I met through Kijiji somehow, and we became best friends at a convention. It's one of those things that's kind of stuck with me, and I kind of want to be part of the filmmaking industry, but that can't happen down here in Canada because our film's tax credit is
Nova Scotia.
Yeah, Nova Scotia. So that means I would have to move out and leave everyone behind, and I'm not that type of guy to do that because I love my family and I love my friends. Love you, buddy.
Ow.
I just wanted to know the name of the music that is used at the end of Garanicor videos.
Brady, you know this one.
That is One Night in Neo Kobe City on the game Snatcher.
If you could make high quality videos like James, but not have them be about video games, what would they be about?
Basically, short and sweet reviews on games. Not really getting into details because I'm not good about details. I'm a rambler, and that's what I do.
All right.
Like games. If I don't like it, get out of here.
So lastly, we have this one question from like this weird guy with a mask on.
Listen, he doesn't want to get his identity going. Like if
he's in the dark.
So what? Maybe he doesn't want to waste light.
Here it is.
Hello, Nitro Rad. This is Joseph Andrew. When are you going to review the Hook on the SNES? I would like to see Nitro Brady make a return. Nitro Brady or Brady or whoever it is.
Nobody knows how to say your name.
It's one of those things that happens, but I like where this guy's going.
Because I think you will enjoy it just as much as, you know...
Brady, what are you doing?
It's on me! I swear no one's on it! The other Brady's! Just hear him out!
Why did you send me this, Brady?
Because I thought I could fool you.
Can we please review Hook?
No. What?
was all that?
Oh, what?
All that commotion.
Is commotion.
Keep it down, will you?
Everybody, thank you for sending in your questions. I hope you answered them all and you like the answers.
We'll be seeing you in the review of Hook.
We're not reviewing Hook.
Yes, we are.
No, shut up.
Pepperoni! Oh my god!